The money doesn't sleep, so neither can I. It's UFC Fight Night, and these are your parlay picks this time on.
David! 60 G's, baby!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to As a Betting Man. My name is Adrian, and as the text below my name suggests, I cannot afford to lose, especially considering what happened at UFC 308. Came pretty close to being cleaned out by the bookies, but we did manage to secure one 5-legger here. Pretty much betting on all the favorites. We did secure combined total odds of about 5.5, total return of about 55 Rand, and that was, of course, more than half of our total stack in play. So pretty happy about that, but absolutely no profits. And like I said, quite a heartbreaking card on the whole. But as we do here at the CPS reports, we look forward, and looking forward, we go to an amazing card here. Fight Night card where we have Brandon Moreno coming up against Mr. Albazi. And let's start with that one. So we're going to start our parlay builder here with the main event. Okay, so I do know that Albazi does possess the grappling threat in this fight. But I do think Moreno is quite experienced, well, very well seasoned, so to speak. So yeah, I do think Moreno's footwork is going to be too much for Mr. Albazi. Yeah, I think he's going to kind of manage to stay safe. And as we say quite frequently at the CPS reports, levels to the game. So just like we saw Royval do with Taira, I look for Brandon Moreno here to make the most of his experience, especially against high-level opponents. Get the job done here. So we're going to go with Brandon Moreno on the money line. Which keeps us going now to the co-main event. And here we have Thug Rose Namajunas coming up against Erin Blanchfield. So yeah, for me, Thug Rose here does have the striking advantage. I think she's an excellent technical striker. Erin Blanchfield does, of course, possess the grappling advantage here, and I think that's the reason why the bookies are considering her as the favorite. As you guys can see, it's pretty close to call here. So we're going to go with this fight to go the distance. And as you can see, that's at 1.4, which is not great, but on a parlay, I'll take it all day long, all day long. So we're going to lock that in for Blanchfield and Namajunas to go the distance here. As you can see, we've been quite conservative with our picks here, nothing over 1.6, and we're going to keep it that way for our first parlay here. So we'll keep it moving. And yeah, of course, I'm going to go to the heavyweights. I don't know too much about Machado and Ribeiro here. I haven't seen either of them fight, but I do know that they are from Brazil. So yeah, look for them to put on quite a show for the fans, as the Brazilians always do. The Brazilians, of course, long-time listeners of us here at the CPS report. But keeping it going to another Brazilian in the heavyweight division, JHONATA DINIZ, excuse me. He's coming up against the legend Derrick Lewis, who, of course, holds the record for the most knockouts in UFC history. JHONATA, as far as I know, haven't seen too much from him, but he's a good technical striker as far as I can see. I think in terms of the skill set, he's going to have more than Derrick Lewis on the day. But yeah, you can never rule out Derrick Lewis's knockout power. He's an absolute legend, and he's a legend for a reason. He's got the most knockouts, as I mentioned. So as you guys can see, this one to go the distance is once again pretty poorly priced. But considering how conservative we're being on our parlay here, that is going to fit right into our selection. So yeah, let's keep moving, ladies and gentlemen. And again, not too much action on the card here for me. If I had more intensive knowledge about more of these fighters, I'd definitely be making more picks. But one fighter that I do know is Pedro Munoz, and I did have him winning this fight going into today. But having listened to a couple of pundits earlier this afternoon, do your research, guys. Something we always encourage you at the CPS Reports. Do your research into the fights, and you never know what you might learn, right? And what I learned today was that Ayman Zahabi is actually coached by Faraz Zahabi, the well-known coach. So yeah, I'm actually going to change my pick. I'm not going to go for Zahabi to win here, but I am going to change my pick for the parlay, and I'm going to go for this one to go the distance. So as you can see, guys, that takes us to a combined total odds of 3.37, which is not great. But again, considering how conservative we're being here, I think that's fine. So I'm going to lock that in for 50 Rand. I'm going to lock that in for 50 Rand. Let me just confirm that and put the one up for you guys on the screen there. So if you guys are interested in jumping in with us, that's it. So like I said, we're going to lock that one in. And yeah, I think it's time that we get into some more degenerate picks. So I'm going to just take that off for a second. And now the fun begins, ladies and gentlemen. So like I said, I'm never one to rule out Derrick Lewis's knockout power, and he is the underdog in this fight. So worth a gander, I think worth a gander. And of course, like I said, most knockouts in UFC history. If he does get it, if he does get it done, he gets it done by KO. So we're gonna lock in Derrick Lewis to get it done by KO here. So that's a combined, well, total odds of 3, which is pretty much the total odds of our previous parlay. There's not really too much else that I like on this card, to be honest with you. I might do some more research into the fighters as we get closer to fight night. But if I do make any changes to my picks, I will, as always, update you guys on the YouTube page. So keep an eye out for that. Okay, so finally here, what I'm going to do just to sweeten this parlay a little bit. I did say this fight to go the decision. For this one, I'm going to go for Thug Rose. And again, I'm going to go for Thug Rose to win on decision. That's 2.75. Pretty tasty, and that takes us to 8.25. So I really, really like that. Reach the maximum reward. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, I'm going to lock that in. Combined odds of 8.25, and we're gonna lock that in for 20 bucks, right? Let's not get too crazy. So let's lock that one in for 20 bucks. That is, of course, Derrick Lewis and Thug Rose. Derrick Lewis by knockout, Thug Rose by decision. All right, so that one is locked in, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, like I said, my knowledge, unfortunately, of the fighters on this card is not too extensive. So yeah, if I do some research in the coming days, you guys will be the first to know if there are any changes to my parlay picks. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. If you haven't done so yet, please remember to like and subscribe to the channel. We are just a few subscribers away from 700, and we'd be very happy if you could help us make that happen. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much once again for watching. We do appreciate all the love and support, and I will see you some point in the future. I hope. Have a wonderful week, everybody. Goodbye.